What's going on YouTube? It's your boy The White and welcome back to another video here on the BTBYCB podcast, man. Hope it's all is well with you guys and your families, man. You guys are still in my prayers, all my subscribers and the people who just watch my channel and get blessed by it every time I post a video. But today, guys, I got a good video for y'all, man. It's been on my mind for a good minute or so. Some things I want to get off my chest, specifically talking about the church and how the church is ran. And so, the title of the video is the problems with the church at this generation or just in 2020. I got some notes, you feel me, like in my journal, but I think probably more will come off the top of my head as I go along. But man, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Specifically, also, I made this video because I have a lot of friends that really don't go to church, and I don't judge them. Whenever somebody don't do something, there's always a reason why. And so I'm here to tackle that problem, and here to tackle, the problems that I believe why people don't go to church, and the problems that they could fix. The church they could fix in the future. Shout out to my girlfriend, my beautiful girlfriend Jasmine, for holding it down for me with this. Without further ado, man, let's hop up in the video. All right, so again, the title is Problems with the Church in 2020. So one of the problems I have, they don't care. And before I really get into don't care, we have to remember that the church is not quote unquote a building. We have church service in the building, but the church is made up by the people. So the church is really the people. So whenever I say the church, I'm talking about the people of the church, the people that make up the church, not necessarily the building. I'm not necessarily pointing out pastors, but I'm talking about the specific people that's inside the church. So I say they don't care. The reason I say they don't care is because people, this generation, especially black folks, they only do stuff either because they see it, somebody else do it, and they feel some type of way, or, they want to make themselves feel better. They trying to prove a point to themselves. People don't really go to church for the right reasons. Like I said, people, they really don't care about the word, don't care about the pastor, don't care about the environment. They ultimately want to go just so they say they win. And that leads me to number two. People go just to say they can go. It's the same thing as they don't really care. And I think that's the problem, because you got a lot of people that are really good. I think they're really talented, that really could help God, the ministry, could help God, help the church, you know what I'm saying? But people only care about their agendas and only seek out their own agendas, you know what I'm saying? And so, they only doing what they want. And to be honest, it's not benefiting the church, because again, the church is made up by the people. So if you have about 50 to 70% of the church only caring about what they want, right, and only care about their feelings and not nobody else's, and what they could get out of the actual church service and actually being in the same presence, then you won't get anywhere, right? The church won't really grow necessarily, because again, if you're just going just to say you go, you won't even go every Sunday. Low key, you won't even go. You only go if you in a bad situation. Oh man, you miss church 4 weeks in a row until you can't pay that light bill. Now you gotta go to church. Now you gotta beg to Christ, Lord, help me pay the light bill, stuff of that nature. So again, not really caring, and they just going just to go. Next, I put they don't support. If you go to church, I got many subscribers here that actually go to church and know what I'm finna say next. You have to be a part of a ministry. Now here's what a ministry is for those who don't know. A ministry is basically, you could say, it's like a mini organization. It's like an organization inside the church that helps the church, that helps the pastor, this and the third. So in my church, we have like an ushers ministry, people that direct people to their seats and kind of watch over the church on the inside. You got the greeters ministry, the people that work outside the church, like greeting people as soon as they come in before they reach the sanctuary. You got people, we got a valet ministry, for elderly people. We got a lot of elderly people that can't really walk, they're not very mobile, so we take their cars, so they pick up how valet stuff works. We have a youth ministry, of course, for teenagers and stuff. We have a children's ministry, of course, for all the kids. We have a music ministry, you know what I'm saying? A Mighty's men's ministry. We have all the men in one ministry, Victorious women ministry, all the women in one ministry. You get the point. We have so many ministries in church. Me personally, I feel like some of them not really ministries. They kind of trash. I won't say trash, but they're not real ministries to me. And I'll just say that for a whole nother video, what's a real ministry and what ministry really is. Like I said, supporting is joining a ministry, because if you, again, the church is made up of people. The church people need to join ministries, whether it is that they like, whether you want to be an usher, whether you want to be a greeter, whether you want to help out in the youth ministry. So for me, I'm in the youth ministry. It's in terms of like the youth ministry stops at 18, but I'm more of in that leadership role in there. So like you have the youth pastor, and then you have his wife, and then it's low key me, and then you have some others. So like I'm probably like second or third on that list. So like if you read my bio, my bio for the YouTube channel, you'll see like I'm pretty much the assistant youth pastor. So like when we have events and stuff like that, I'll help, like I'll preach and stuff, you know what I mean? I've done Bible study before, I've done praying lines, I've done all that stuff. So none of that stuff is new to me. That's supporting, that's actually getting involved and actually being the church. I read a book last year, and it talked about how we as the church, we have to get people to actually be in the church, to actually stand and coming, you know what I'm saying? And so that leads me to my next point, the church not supporting the youth. When you really think about it, the church, the youth doesn't come to church. And what I mean by youth, people in their teenagers, people that can drive, you know, maybe young adults, people in their early 20s, like 21, 22. They're not really coming to church that much because they think the church is fake. They think the people is fake. They think the pastor's stealing money. So it's all those things. And so that's why you need genuine people, but you also need people to help lead and support those youth, because without that, you're not going to grow, and you're not going to have, you know what I'm saying? You're not, you know, the youth, I said this before, the youth is the future. So if you have no youth in that church and you have old people, it's going to die low key, and it's not going to grow. The church going to always be there itself, the building, but you need the congregation, meaning the people. You need the people there. And so shout out to Jasmine, because she texted me about this. She said I need to speak on it, so I'm speaking on it now. You need people, like you have to make people be a part of the church. So excuse me, so like if you're in the youth and you're a teenager, like 16 to 18 years old, and if you're a youth pastor, you need to give them something to do. I'm not saying force them to sing in a choir all the time, but give them leadership roles. You know, make somebody take attendance or something. Make somebody let somebody do a Bible study here and there. You know, make them feel like they're part of the church, part of something that's real, instead of just saying, hey, how you doing? They coming and leaving, and you don't care if they come back. You know what I'm saying? So that's what church has came to, in a sense, you know what I mean? And so, which is pretty sad. I might speak on that also, about teenagers and what they can do to help, you know, what teenagers should be doing in the church. But that's one of the problems, like I said, and that goes back to not caring, you know, because people see young, you know, these elders, these old folks, they see young people and they see them as troublemakers. They just see them as people that don't care, people that don't want to learn, you know what I'm saying? Dang. And so that can kind of be a turnoff for people that's coming. And so that's why you really don't see people coming back as much, especially the teenagers. And lastly, the church is extremely judgmental. I don't think they understand, like, how do they do it? Because these old folks and, you know, the pastor sometimes, and even, you know, the teens, anybody, like, they're quick to point fingers. They're quick to look at you sideways. They're quick to just, you know, look at you differently by where your background, where you come from. But for me, we all came a long way, in a sense. We're not the same as we once was before. So why are you, you know what I'm saying, like, pointing out a difference here? I think that's the main reason why people don't go. I think people could say the pastor's this, church people that have fake this, that, and the third. There's fake people everywhere. I just think people are being judged. You know, they don't go to church as they should. You know, they carry themselves a different way, so they being judged. Like, I just think at the end of the day, that's what it's about. They're just being judged. But man, I just want to encourage y'all, if you are feeling that way, if there's anything that I said that, because everything I said is facts, period. Continue to go to church. Find a church. Don't let that stop you. A lot of times we use that as an excuse to not do something, or to just stop going, but you need it. And one of my other videos, my previous videos, I said like going to church is the actual foundation on how you build your faith up. You learn that stuff really from church. So don't ever stop, man. Continue to be the best you could be. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We better get to 100 by next week. For real. Peace.